What is up, guys? DT Ninja here to give you guys my RuroKen Hokkaido Arc Chapter 34 review. Okay, guys, this chapter, it was a conclusion of Otaru. So we finally get the end of the battle between Honda and Kanrio Aran. Also Kenshin in there. And also we kind of get where, Kanrio is going to go. Like, we get a little more development. We get an understanding of what he wants to do, which is to get the Gatling gun to be legalized. So that was interesting towards the end. We also get, some interesting kind of like family, wholesome moments. That was really nice with everybody, all the kids. We also get, another brutal killing with the Kinkaku Heki. You can just tell this group has no mercy. They show no mercy towards their own people when they fail, and Honda meets his end. So, pretty crazy. Now, those were the interesting things. Those were the good things, that happened in the chapter. Now, I won't want to say, Honda dying is a good thing, but, it was interesting to see, kind of the perspective from Honda because, he's apologetic, but at the same time, there's no sympathy, towards failure. So, yeah. Some things that I didn't like, well, I wouldn't call them bad, but we do get nothing from Sapporo. Okay, so we don't see we do see Sanosuke. We don't see Saito or Nagakura's front in Sapporo. We don't see the front in Hakodate. We don't see the other fronts. That is something that's, been a common thing throughout this Otaru campaign. We always want to see what Saito's up to. Well, also, another thing, the teasing of the characters that are coming to Hokkaido. Well, Aoshi Shinomori is, again, teased by Kenshin. He tells, Kanrio, he's coming to Hokkaido, you should be prepared, and then he just starts running like a madman. That was great. But at the same time, teasing the characters, come on. And then, of course, Kanrio teased kind of Megumi. Now, it's not a tease for Kanrio, but it is for the readers because, he said the name, so we know those two characters are coming to Hokkaido. So that's a little, it's kind of, I want those characters to come. So that's just one of those things. But I did like, overall the chapter was good. I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. It was a good chapter. I like the conclusion of it. I like the wholesome part where they had kind of a family moment. That was really nice. The Ono revealing information about the Kinkaku Heki to Sanosuke, we don't get it. It's another tease. So while they're eating, Sanosuke says, it's not something you want to hear in front of the children or while we're eating. So it's going to be a sad story, but I'm looking forward to hearing that, but I was kind of disappointed on the front we didn't actually get to hear it. So, but anyways, it was still a good chapter. Okay, before we even get to that, I want to share my new figure. Look at this Hajime Saito figure with the Gatotsu stance. I mean, this is my latest figure from Mega House PVC figure. This is almost brand new. I got it on Mercari, and apparently it's really rare. I saw it on eBay being sold for like $300, so I mean, I got really lucky, and I'm glad I got it. I always wanted Saito's figure, so you'll probably see him in my other reviews and discussions. I'll also have Kenshin around as well, probably on this side. But yeah, I also recently got this. This is a label. It's an acrylic stand from the 25th year anniversary exhibition. You guys can see it has a manga scan on it. So this is really cool. It actually is a label for my figure. And I actually ordered a Saito one, so it's gonna go right here on the stand for Saito. So yeah, and I believe the manga scan says Akzokzan, which is gonna go well with the figure. So those are some new items. I also just got this in today. This is from Jump Fair 2019 from the Hokkaido Arc. This is Kenshin Himura, and he's sitting down, kind of a rare photo illustration by Watsuki, and this is from the Hokkaido Arc Chapter 8, the interrogation of Byakuya Itakura. You can see he's sitting down and he's asking him what are the, what is the plan of Kinkaku Heki? What are their goals? So it's a pretty cool scan. It's very small, but it's really nice. I like it. It'll look really great in my collection. So I wanted to share those with you guys. But yeah, let's get to the actual review. So I kind of explained what I liked and didn't like. Notable things. Okay, first, Kenshin heals Honda's wounds. This is very interesting because remember when Kaoru fought Kamatari and Henya, right? I think Kaoru fought Kamatari and... yeah, it was Kaoru and Misao fought Kamatari, right? And afterwards, she healed the enemy, right? Well, in this case, Kenshin is the one healing, Honda. He's being tied up, but at the same time, he healed his wounds because he got shot, so, I mean, he's probably got some internal injuries there as well. But, yeah, he healed him a little bit. He healed some of his wounds, kind of tells him that, if you move around, if you be reckless, you're going to open those up. Now, what I noticed about this, not just that, you got Kenshin and Kaoru both, they heal even the enemies, but the fact that he warns him that you shouldn't move around or do anything reckless or you're going to open them up. Later in the chapter, he ends up, you see him with like this blade on his finger, and he's like cutting the ropes during the chapter, and then towards, the middle, he breaks free, right? And it just so happens that Ashitaro and Aran and even Kanrio are running towards him, and he's like, oh my god, they're all in the same place. I'm gonna kill them all. Scumbag merchant, you damn brats. So he's got his blade ready, and he's pretty much gonna stab them. Well, Kanrio slips on a barrel. It just happens to be gunpowder flying in the air, and what happens? Ashitaro hits him with the Mugenjin, hits it with the Mugenjin and explodes. So it's like karma, Kenshin told him, don't move, you're gonna hurt yourself, and what happens? He moves, and he gets hurt. So I found that interesting, and it was a funny scene as well. Okay, the next thing, Kanryu gives a rare coin to Aran. Now, not only is it a rare coin, and we're going to get to that in a moment, but it's actually the coin that he got at Kabato prison. Now, he mentions, he kind of shows, that bag of coins where he's like emptying it in chapter 25. I'm going to show you right now. To the other prisoners, I got money. He shows him the money, right? But in one of his hands, he's got this coin. And this is the gold coin. It's a gold coin. So he keeps this coin. And you actually see it throughout. And he keeps holding on to it. So it's very important to him. This is the one he got at the bottom of the toilet. The guard's toilet. So apparently this is something kind of representing his struggles in jail, in the prison. So, but it also represents kind of noticed this, but it kind of represents his life too. It kind of went from, he was at the bottom to begin with, he was at the top, he was kind of, the entrepreneur, selling weapons, selling opium, and then suddenly he went to the bottom of the toilet. It's kind of like his life. So it's kind of interesting as well. They call him the scumbag merchant, although that's what, it's kind of funny that it actually kind of relates to his, job in prison. So, but yeah, anyways, I found that interesting. So not only do we see that, but he shows Iran the coin, and he's like, this is the coin that I had at Kabato prison. He throws him the coin, and, even though he rejects his offer to make money, he gives him that coin. And that was nice. I like the whole kind of dynamic between Iran and Kanrio, where he's like, you made the wrong choice for your future. But I will forgive you, because when you are at the bottom like I was, you're going to come back to me. You're going to find Ringu Gato, because I have this gold coin that I gave to you. It represents everything in my life. And when you present it to me, I'm going to give you the greatest feast you've ever had. And you can bring along your friends as well. So I like that whole thing between them, and then their farewell. That was nice. Now, going back to the actual coin itself, I looked this up. So it's large. You actually see the inscriptions on it. So I translated it, and basically the coin says Dai Nihon, which is the Great Japan, and then it says 20 yen coin, and then it says Meiji era 13th year. So it's the 13th year of the Meiji era, 20 yen coin, and it's gold. It's a gold coin, so it's very, very valuable. Now, that's why he kept it, but like I said, it kind of represents his struggles, which is why he gave it back to his apprentice, his disciple. So, why he entrusted it to him. So, then I looked it up and how many were minted. There's 103 of these minted. That means there's only 103 in existence. That is super rare. And in 2011, that coin from the Meiji era in the 13th year was sold for $230,000. $230,000. Yes, it's gold, but that is nuts, guys. That is nuts. $230,000. Yes, that's right. That's how much it was sold for. So coin collectors will pay crazy amounts of money for it. But yeah, I found that very interesting. I looked it up. But I want you to take a look at the coin. Now, this is Meiji era 3rd year. So you can actually see the coin itself. But in the chapter, you'll see the 13th year. It's the exact same design, so you can definitely tell he used it from the actual coin, but you can see it. It's very interesting. So take a look. Okay, guys, so you can see it kind of has like a symbol on the front. It's got the 13th year of the Meiji, and then I showed the back of the coin as well, which is also interesting. It's got the Meiji kind of crest, and it's also got the Polonia. Now, what's interesting about that is that the Polonia, as you guys know, is the Gato crest. It is a representation of the Gato crest. So you could even say the back of the coin is where he got the idea to come up with the Gato crest. So that is also interesting. But yeah, I could not believe when I looked that up. $230,000. That's how much it sold for. So yeah, and like I said, 103. So it's super rare. Okay. Iran turns down Kanryu's offer to make money. You see him holding the coin, and he's like, let's make money. You can have whatever your heart desires. And he's like, it's tempting. It really is. But I'm going to have to pass. I made a promise to those two, Ashitaro and Asahi, that we're going to go to the shining heart of modernization, of westernization. The future. We're going to go, we're going to experience everything together. If we're going to make money, if we're going to struggle, we're going to do it together. And I like that. The whole friendship, the whole bond between all three of them. I really like how he chose his comrades, his friends, over money. Because that's not what Kanrio was about. He always chose money. That's what his life is about. So I do like it. And, it just shows how much those two mean to him. So, yeah, that was really nice. Another thing, Kenshin approaches Kanrio. Okay, so in this chapter, he approaches him, and he's got this ominous kind of feel to him. You see, he's got his Sakabato out, and you see him flip. You see him flip the sheath, and you see kind of the sword go up, so it looks like he's about to attack. And so he is thinking that Kanrio is going to shoot him because like he sees him, and you got the sheet over the Gatling gun, so he's not going to fire. But Kenshin believed that he was going to fire on him, and you could just see kind of the animosity between them. There's still that kind of that aura between them, that just they both don't like each other at all. So but yeah, it was nice. And then you get this whole thing where Kenshin lets Kanryu go. He lets him leave on his own, and Kanryu doesn't want that. He doesn't want to be treated like he did for Megumi, and he even mentions Megumi. And he said, "How self-righteous can you be?" And he's like, I have no right to judge you. My sword can only protect others. I can't judge others. Especially because I'm a former manslayer, so I can't possibly, even understand or, judge someone like you. So I do like that whole thing. And then he tells him, but I have a piece of advice for you. Aoshi Shinomori is coming to Hokkaido. And when he says this, his face goes like this. Oh my God! It kind of reminded me of Joseph Joestar. Oh my God! Also that famous painting where you got his face like, oh, so it was really funny. And then Kanri is like just bolting. He's just running like mad. And Kenshin's talking to him. He's like, if Aoshi comes to you and he approaches you, there's not much I can do about it, you'll have to remember this. And then suddenly he's on his own. He's like, Oro? And then suddenly you see Kanryu running, and he's like catching up to the kids because, Aran is being chased by Ashitaro because he found him after he almost got exploded, and he's pissed off. So you see, Kanryu running like mad, and he's catching up to them. That was just a great scene. It was funny. And it was just, you can just see, I'm glad Kenshin put that into his mind, and he told him that Aoshi is coming, and he needs to realize what happened in the past. He's got to change, or, obviously he's freaking out, but I just like that whole thing. I like that whole scene. It was great. Okay, the next thing. I like how Kenshin also mentions to Kanryu that he doesn't know what a bowl of porridge made of clay, it was porridge made of clay, tastes like, right? I don't know. I haven't experienced that, but I have tasted what a pot of weeds tastes like. And you see that kind of intense stare between the two of them. But I did like it because remember, Kanri was trying to relate to his apprentice, to his disciple. And every time his disciple was like, no, I've never experienced that. That's so terrible. But then Kenshin comes along and Batosai, he's like, I know what it tastes like. I understand a little bit of your pain, of your struggles, of your suffering. So, yeah, I do like that whole aspect of where he, does kind of, but it also pisses Kanryu off, But I do like it. I like how he mentioned it. Okay, the next thing. As Kanryu is running, right, he slips on the barrel. Well, the great thing about this is the barrel's up in the air. Ashitaro acts on instinct and lets the sword come off the sheath. Obviously, he's already ready to strike with the Mugenjin, and he lets go, and the flames of the Homaratama come out, and explosion. Right? Explosion. Now, this is really funny moment, but if you look closely, the intensity in his eyes, he was like, let's go, come on. He was already ready. So I feel like this is like a control thing. Like Ashitaro is starting to control his power, his sword, a little better than before. I do like that, and I noticed it. I do wonder if he's kind of gaining a little more control of the sword. So that was really cool. But he acted on instinct to fight with Shishio's sword, so he's not supposed to do that, but he did it, and they ended up being okay. So we'll see. But I did like it. Okay, the next thing. Ashitaro and Aran lost the shares of Gato Ringu. Remember, Ringu, before he went into the fort of the Kinkaku Heki, he promised them 2/3 of the money that I made in Otaru. This is the money I'm going to give you. It turns out that the government have taken everything from the storehouse and they're using it to restore Otaru because it was kind of in shambles from the chaos. So they're rebuilding the town, they're rebuilding the city. And so this is a shock to Aran and Ashitaro. But Kenshin always has a second plan, and this was great. He has set the kids up, all three of them, with a government funding program. So basically, the government is going to provide them money every, I don't know how long, maybe every month or something, but they have to do work for the government and they get money in return. It's just a great, kind of solution to the problem of actually giving them an allowance. So I like that. Make them work for what they earn. So that was great. Also, Aran figured it out. If you work more for them, you're going to get more money. So, but I don't think he needs a lot because that coin that he has is worth a lot of money. At least to Kanrio it is. It's valuable. So, okay, the next thing. Asahi is a quick learner. We see her reading the menu. That was really nice. But it's not just that. Her wits, she's clever. She's able to decipher things, not just read. It's not that she read the kanji. She knew that Otaru's fish was this type of fish, and she knew that I think it's herring, right? And a Pacific herring, and so she knew from that she could read and take a guess. So Nishin Soba, and I liked the whole wholesome moment where Ashitaro's like, you're so awesome. You're really smart. And I think it was Aran. He says that you don't even need me to teach you anymore. You can learn yourself, and you can see that genuine happiness on her face. You can see she's kind of blushing. That was just a great moment because, it's kind of like that brothers kind of, brother and sister kind of moment, but kind of like a family moment. So I do like that, and you get Kenshin and Sano there as well. So it kind of did feel like they're a family, and obviously, Asahi didn't have that growing up, so it was great to see a wholesome moment for the conclusion of Otaru. So good stuff, good stuff. Okay, Shimonji, in this chapter, we learned that he's very short. Now, I knew he was short, but I didn't realize it until this chapter, where Honda basically shows up and he's just towering over him. I mean, like, you can just see the difference in, height between the two. And one of the townspeople goes on and he says, hey there, little guy, what's the shock for? And I'm like, holy crap, he's just going to lash out and kill him, He's in total shock because, Kenshin's actions prevented the experimental battle. So that was interesting, but at the same time, wow, he really is short, like that guy called him a little guy, and then you see Honda is pretty tall compared to him. But the next thing, Honda's death was brutal. Okay, you gotta see this to believe it, but okay, so in the chapter, he says that, I'm sorry, I screwed things up. And he's like, I know you did. I shouldn't have brought the Gatling gun along. If they hadn't have taken it, suddenly his monocle falls to the ground. You see blood spurting out, and you're like, what the hell? You're kind of trying to figure out what's going on. He has a hat on, okay? And so the monocle falls off, so he attacked him. But what's crazy about this is that Shimonji, okay, he has his weapon here. His weapon, his wire blade, and it's literally sitting on his shoulder, right? And he's kind of got like the straw from it kind of covering his weapon. Well, he's holding it like this, and Honda is he's standing directly behind him. So what do you think happens Yeah, he shoots it right at him when he's not even, facing him. That's freaking crazy. So he's just standing there, and suddenly the freaking blade shoots him through the eye. It goes right in his temple, and you see, like, he's wearing a hat, so you see, like, this little, like blade sticking out of his head, and I'm like, holy crap, did he just freaking kill him like that? Literally shot him through his eye and through his head. He was wearing a hat so you couldn't see it, and then he's like spurting out blood, and damn it, like that was his last words. So, and he's like, you're a disgrace to the Kinkaku Heki, you will be discarded. So it's kill or be killed for the Kinkaku Heki, and really, Shimonji has killed every single one of his subordinates, Ono and Honda. So that was kind of sad, but at the same time, it gave us an eye-opening understanding of the Kinkaku Heki and how they operate. Poor Honda. Just like I felt like when Ono died, right? I kind of feel bad for him. Okay, the next thing, Shimonji never showed his face in Otaru. Never showed his face. Only his mouth. That was the only thing he showed. Like I said, he killed his own men. He's really strong. He did say to Sanosuke that we're going to fight eventually. So we're probably going to get a fight with them eventually. But yeah, I do like... how things turned out in Otaru. Okay, the last thing. Kanrio is shown running away. Okay, he's just like bolting, running. Oh my god, Aoshi's coming for me. Oh my god, I have to run away. And suddenly, he like stumbles on a rock and falls on his face. And then he gets up and he's like, oh, I remember who I am. I'm Gato Ringu. I'm the great merchant. But not only that, I'm going to be a great businessman with political ties. I'm going to lobby the politicians so that I can change the law, so we can legalize Gatling guns. He does not want to let the Gatling gun go. This is very important to him. It's kind of like a love story continuing. He just doesn't want to let go of that Gatling gun. So it was nice. I like how we got some, development there where he's actually going to become more of a political merchant. So technically you could say he's going to work for kind of the government, right? Because if the politicians he's going to work with, he's kind of in that regard. So anyways, that was nice. But the whole part where he's running, that kind of has a little symbolism. Now, as I mentioned, the coin itself kind of represents Kanryo's life, his struggles. You could say the running does too, because back in chapter 25, you actually see him, and he's sprinting after he gets let free from Kabato prison. All the prisoners are running ahead of him. He's out of breath, and suddenly he stumbles on to Shimonji, and that's how he learns about the Kinkaku Heki. So that's kind of like the first stumble and falls, and then he picks himself back up again, and again he falls again, and it's kind of like his life, like his struggles throughout life. It's kind of like, he's just like, and he falls and gets back up, and he wants to improve himself. Let's hope so, but I feel like he has improved himself a little bit. I changed his name a little bit, Ringu Gato Ringu, but he doesn't want to let go of that Gatling gun, does he? So that was pretty funny. But I do like the whole thing with Kanryo. I do like the symbolism. I like how it was concluded, where he's like, I'm not letting go of that, because that is kind of what helped me get through all the bad times. It helped me become who I am. So at the same time, he's Gato Ringu. He'll always be Kanryo as well. And I feel that Gatling gun is something that he needs, to be whole. So I do like that. But yeah, that's the chapter, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Some of my favorite moments have to be Kanryo's reaction to Aoshi. That was really funny. The group moment where, Asahi has that, kind of wholesome moment with everyone, kind of a family moment. Chapter 35, what's coming? Well, first of all, Chapter 35 is coming next Friday. It will come out 2 days early, so you get an earlier chapter. Look for that. Also, what is coming next chapter? I feel like Sapporo, the campaign on Sapporo with Saito, obviously Saito and Nagakura will probably be shown. I feel like maybe something major will happen. I don't know if it's related to Kinkaku Heki. I don't know if it's going to be something related to Kaoru's father. I don't know if it's going to be a commander of Kinkaku Heki, or even something that Ono told Sano. That'd be really cool. Maybe Megumi shows up, but I feel like there's going to be something big. Something big. It's a good transition chapter, but I feel like there will be something really good for us to hold on to, as we continue this journey in Hokkaido. So, anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my review. There will be a discussion coming. I will let you know. It'll probably be a week or so. But like I said, Friday, the next chapter will be coming out. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.